Hey guys, welcome to this episode of B.I.O.S. I'm your host, Michael Klaus. My guest today, the very talented man on the drums, Alex Tanas.
What's up,
from
everybody?
The Band Magic.
Thank
How
you,
doing,
man.
brother?
Good to see you, brother.
Dude,
Respect.
good
man.
to have you here, man. Alex is a good friend of mine, obviously very talented. You guys were just on tour at the end of last year, touring all around Tokyo, and you guys lately working on your third album.
Yeah, we've been in the studio grinding, working on our album, and last year, in 2016, we did a lot of touring. I took about like 90 airplanes last year, which was crazy.
Do you get used to that?
I'm used to it, but I mean, it's one of those things that you can't fully get used to. It's just a constant state of exhaustion.
I heard a quote from my mom that said, choose a job you love and you'll never work a day in your life.
That's it, man. Absolutely. And another quote from Keith Richards, I think it was, he said, the gig is not the job. Like playing the show, that's the fun part. Getting to the gig, the traveling, that's the job. But my actual job, which is to play music, is not a job at all.
So you're living here in, obviously, LA now, but you're from Toronto.
Toronto,
Grew
yeah.
up there. Was this always the goal, the dream, to be in a band and be the drummer?
Absolutely. I remember playing drums in school when I was probably 12, and I learned a couple like Nirvana songs or whatever, and all these people started gathering around me and like watching me play drums. You know, as like a little kid, your ego gets all boosted up, and you're like, people think this is cool.
It's
you
a
know?
performance.
It's a performance, exactly.
When people listen to music or they see members of a band, they think that they have been together forever. But oftentimes, until you get that successful group, you're moving around and trying to find it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Your previous bands, Red Shell, I mean,
Red Shell.
what Boondoggle was in there.
Red Shell is the classic high school band, just so everybody knows.
You thought you were going to hit it big with them.
Oh, definitely. The other band that I played with for a long time was a guy named Justin Nozuka. And so for about 6-7 years, we toured all around the world with him. People think that Magic has been together for a long time, but we've only been together for about 4 years. Moving
to Los Angeles from Toronto, that had to be a risk.
Oh, it was a big risk, man. I didn't have much money at the time, and I had the support of my family, obviously. And it was scary, but it's one of those things that was rewarding, you know what I'm saying?
Was there a struggle? Was that the grind?
The struggle was real, and it was very, very scary at times, because the thing is about being a musician is a lot of musicians don't make money on a regular basis. We don't have like normal jobs. Some musicians will go get a waiting job or whatever they got to do, wait tables. But we were just kind of working on music all day. We'd go to the studio, work on songs, write songs. And so you're kind of watching your savings account just dwindle as you're paying rent and paying for food and stuff like that.
You're investing in yourself.
Exactly. So you're spending all your time on that thing, and you're just waiting for something to crack. And for some people, it takes a long time, and sometimes it just doesn't. You know, luckily in my case, as my bank account was getting down to zero and I asked my family for money and stuff like that, things started to break for Magic, which was beautiful.
Absolutely. You guys had the hit song Rude. What was it like when that song hit #1? Do you remember the feeling that you had?
That's a kind of thing that hardly anybody gets to experience.
Exactly.
Like even some of my favorite bands, like Radiohead, I don't think Radiohead has had a #1 on Billboard.
And you grow up knowing the Billboard Hot 100 or the charts,
Yep.
and to see your name up there
It's
and
weird,
the image,
man. It's super surreal, and you almost feel like nah, like that's not me. You know, like it's hard to really feel it.
It's amazing, but it's almost that's where the work starts as well, because so many people in the music industry want a one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
And you got to follow up Rude with something.
Absolutely.
And you guys obviously came out with Primary Colors. That's been successful. What was the pressure like to be able to move past Rude and come up with something next?
Yeah, the pressure was big. That song becoming a #1 is a sort of a freak. It's like a lottery ticket, because you can have a song, you might play me a song today that is an unbelievable catchy hit song, but it might not get to that spot based on just the vibe of the people, the radio at the time. Our third album, we're really trying to make just like a very special musical album that we love, because if you're trying to chase those hits, you kind of get caught in this game that's not really that real.
We've talked about the grind and the hustle to get to where you are now.
Yeah.
Was there ever a point along the way where you felt like giving up?
Man, absolutely. That's that. I think everybody has that. All of my musician friends have that fear, and you start to think, where am I going to go? Am I going to go back home and move back in with my parents or whatever?
When that bank account is dropping, it's in the back of your mind.
Absolutely. But my mom I have to credit my mom. She just gave me the best piece of advice ever. Was just, it sounds cliche, but just never stop. Like, just don't ever stop, because sooner or later, something is gonna pop.
Talking about that advice that your mother gave you, for people listening to this who want to be a musician, whether it's a drummer, a guitar player, a singer, what advice do you have for them?
You have to love what you're doing, and you have to really work hard. You have to practice. My brother was just telling me about Charlie Parker, who's a famous jazz saxophonist in the 40s, and he used to spend 14 hours a day practicing sax, and that's why he's Charlie Parker. And if you love what you're doing, you will work hard out of the fun, you know.
Yeah, they go hand in hand.
Exactly. So that's
Well, thank you so much
Absolutely,
for joining
buddy.
us
Yeah,
and even
man.
letting us into your studio here.
This is my studio.
These are the keys. This is where the magic happens.
Hey, I see
Pun
what you did there.
intended. But hey, I appreciate it. Best of luck,
Thank
man.
you, bro.
I know you guys are going to
Respect,
kill it when
man.
that third album comes out.
Thank you, bro.
And you know what? Go listen to some of their songs. You're going to love them. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you next time. I can't come in here and not challenge you to a drum off.
Let's do it. I'm down. Let's
You
go.
got it? You got first?
No, you take first.
You let me have first in your own house? All right. I brought my own sticks.
Oh my lord.
It's going down.
I'm
Ready for
nervous,
this?
man. Let's see. Hey!
He won. He's got it.